Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you once again for joining Doug and myself for the Give and Go podcast. Season winding down. One more week of conference play, and then we're moving right into the state tournament. Exciting week this week in the short conference tournament. Doug and I caught a bunch of different games. Doug, what game were you at for the first round?
I didn't. I streamed a couple games.
Okay.
I couldn't go to the games. I went to the Manasquan Marlboro game last night.
And I saw Marlboro play short regional on Tuesday.
Right. Yeah, I
Uh,
watched some of that game. I watched some of the Jackson games. Watched some of the Red Bank regional games. So
if one positive thing came out of COVID is that you could stream all the games. That's probably the only
yeah,
positive thing.
you can stream games.
Mhm.
The problem is some of these gyms you can't make out the people in the stands from the players on the court.
Yeah,
The angles are bad. They're far away.
yeah.
It's a little
This,
difficult, but
it's like Middletown South with the scoreboards, 94 to
oh yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
And,
yeah.
Trinity Hall, you think you pay all that money to go to that school, and it's always freezing. And
Some gyms have the camera up in the corner of the
mm,
gym. You can't. I mean, it's just it's
yeah.
crazy. But you're right. If you can't get to the game, at least you can try to catch a
Yeah.
little bit of it on streaming.
And with the network, you could go back and forth. You could watch some of the games, at a later date, which is,
Yeah,
great for something for like us if we wanted to see something. Um, the first game, I want to just touch on this game. Wasn't a short conference game. Right before the seeding came out on Saturday, I went over to see Wall St. Rose play. Uh, Very competitive game. Everyone knows, Rosie wasn't back yet, which makes a big difference. Hang on one second. Let me just turn that off. Sorry, guys. Sorry
very
about that.
distracted.
Um, but I just want to make a few things. Rosie as a teammate, and I noticed this before that game, explaining to the freshmen what to do, like even showing them how to proper, stretching before the game, and um, like I said, explaining things, and it just impressed me so much. She's hurt, injured, but what she mean, you could tell what she means to that team, even when she's not playing. And good to see her. She had a pretty good opening game against Mater Dei, coming back. Hopefully, going to state, she gets more healthy, and they could make a little run. So I just wanted to comment that on Rosie.
Yeah,
Maggie,
that's
that
that's that's
yeah,
what leaders do. I mean, a lot
yeah,
of kids get hurt and they don't even want to be there. So
no, but she's
for
there.
someone to be there and actually helping out the teammates
Yeah,
is a good.
and I
That's a good
know.
leader and something college coaches are going to be very impressed with.
Yeah, and it's probably tough on her not being able to put the uniform on and be on the court, being the competitor. But yeah, she's there. She's supporting the team. Helping any way she can. That's just what I saw. Saturday when I was there. I want Maggie. You know Rosie out. Maggie's going to be their primary focus, and she did everything. She good to help try to get that victory. I think she had 5 3-pointers, but even her passing, she was driving and dishing it off. Uh, we all know how tough a defender she is, and workhorse with the rebounds. So next year, a lot of good things, going into next year. These freshmen on St. Rose are getting very important minutes, very quality minutes that are just going to pay dividends, come next season when we get ready to tip off.
And
And that was
shorthanded or not, that's a good win for Walt. That was
yes,
St. Rose being shorthanded or not
yeah,
for
it's a
kind of a rivalry game. They're right next door to each other. A lot of kids from Wall end up at St. Rose, and it was a good win regardless of who was on the court and who wasn't on the court. So let's give
yeah.
Wall their credit.
That was going to be my next thing. Shane Eldridge, she was not going to lose that game. The passion she had that game, she was fired up. From tip off to the end of the game, she wanted that game bad, and and she played like it. On the court, she was doing everything. We all know how great ball handler is. She could shoot from distance, and her and Emily together, they're a nice little duo. And I look forward to they got 2 more years there. Seeing them develop and Wall make some noise and hopefully in the top 10. So it was a fun game to be at. So I just wanted I know it was right before the seeding. Don't know how much that affected the seeding, but it was fun, and like we said, I thought they did a pretty decent job with the seeding anyway. So
Yeah, I think so. I mean, well, they got the top eight right,
yeah,
so
yeah. Now you were at do you want to comment on you were at Rumson Jackson
yeah, I went to the
Saturday
Rumson
before?
Jackson game that same day. Uh, Rumson just continued their hot streak. Jackson kept it close for a while, but you could see just Rumson was running them up and down the court. Rumson was hitting threes. I think they hit 13 or 14
Oh,
threes.
tough to beat
Yeah,
anybody.
it didn't matter. I mean, they subbed in. Scarpa came off the bench. Mason came off the bench. They both contributed big points. Um, and you could see Jackson was worn down. I know Rachel only plays 5, 6 girls. Um, but you could see they were getting worn down towards the end of the game. They were getting a little sloppy. But Rumson just took it to him. But doing that also, while Corsentina was held to probably her season low,
Hmm.
um, Chloe Messer did a great job. And when she was out, Zoe Maphey was covering Corsentino, and they did a really good job on her. But
Hmm.
everybody else on Rumson stepped up, and the game, it didn't end up close at the end. So,
You said Scarpa had a pretty good game. You
yep,
said.
yep, she came off the bench, hit about 8 or 10 points and 6 rebounds or so. Mason hit a couple threes in the second to open the lead up. So
Yeah,
Colucci and she's continued her hot streak, and everybody on that team was contributing, and that's what you want especially coming down playoff time.
yeah. If you could get that kind of production coming off the bench in high school, you're going to be very tough, very tough.
Especially when you're number one players being the focal point of the defense, and they were determined to shut her down.
Uh huh.
I mean, they were scratching and clawing, they were hammering her pretty good, and
Which seems to be every game Julie is
I
in.
mean,
She
I
gets
tell
hammered
you
pretty
what,
good.
I've seen her get beat up some games this year, and I think I tweeted this, but you watch her play, she's a focal point of the defense. She gets beat up, she's she's getting hammered, but the kid never complains. She
No,
never stops playing.
always smiling
She
too.
she cheers on her teammates. She goes up to her teammates when they're make a great pass or get a key rebound or a steal. She's always the first one up there congratulating them. So again, like you talked about Rosie, this is the kind of kid you want on your team,
Yeah.
especially college coaches. They want kids like that.
Yeah.
You're a leader. You're a natural leader. You can score, but when things aren't going right, you're not hanging your head. You're not complaining. You're not crying to the refs that you're getting fouled. You just keep playing.
Hmm. Um. Yeah. I look for that, and we'll talk about it a little later. Rumps and Donovan, that rematch from the WOBM. It should be fun. Uh, digging into short conference opening round. Couple upsets. First, let's just touch on the game. I went to Marlboro Shore Regional. Had to give Danny was Player of the Week last week. Going into the game, I think she needed 16 or 18 points for 1,000. She only had 6, I think, for the game, but
Mhm.
they had her on Riley Dreyhus in the first quarter, first half, and Riley couldn't even breathe. Like she was just on her, and it was such an impressive. Even when I talked to Will about it, Danny just did a great job, and you know, even said that I go, Danny, your defense on Riley in the first half, they switched it up in the second half, but it was so impressive, and good to see, because people don't get recognized as much for their defense, especially
Right.
in the media, and that Riley not being able to get off to a quick start has definitely affected the way Marlboro was able to get to it out. Everyone was contributing for Marlboro. They hit a couple threes. The first quarter they really couldn't miss, and we know from years past, everyone contributed. That's how teams. The past few years, the Marlboro teams that have been really good have been. Erica DeSimone started off pretty hot. Castro, and Sam Sofakis. I'm probably messing up her last name.
Loftus.
She was so impressive. underneath. She had one spin move from the post for an easy layup. It was just so fluid, and she did what she had to do with the boards. It was fun. Definitely not the Marlboro team that we saw in the WOBM, which we expected.
Right. And you say a lot of kids don't get recognized for their defense, and especially by the you know
Mm,
press or.
mm.
But when you're at the game, when you're actually at the game, you get to notice how hard these kids work on
Uh huh.
defense, and it's a lot
Yeah.
easier to recognize someone when you're actually at the game and
Yes.
not just going off of stats.
Yes.
Um,
Um. Yeah, and to me, and you've played sports, you've coached. Body language is, you can't even see it, when you're streaming. To me, seeing a kid's body language, um, are they getting frustrated, or
yeah,
they have smile, if they're doing a good job, or even if they're missing a few shots, you can see if it's bothering them, or they're just, hey, gotta play through it, gotta get better, and you can't see that without being there live.
right. And to Drado's credit, she did finish at 20.
She didn't quit.
So even being hounded all game, I know the first half was a little rough and Marlboro got out to a big lead, but she did finish with 20 points. So to her credit again, like we
Yeah.
talked about Corsentino, she's getting dogged all over the court, never complained, never
Nope.
head down, always still cheering her
Oh, always
teammates
fun.
on. So
Yeah, yeah. Those are your perfect teammates.
mhm.
One game, it's the only game we saw in the first round, but obviously we have to talk about Toms River East, Red Bank Regional. Pretty big upset. Ocean County team going on up to RBR, which is one of the hotter teams in the Shore Conference. They had to win 6 or 7 in a row just to get to qualify.
Right.
Toms River East, a very well coached team.
Yeah,
So
and you said Red Bank had to win 7 or 8 games in a row to they were probably worn out. I mean,
yeah,
not taking anything away from Tom's River East, but mentally to have to win every game's a playoff game. Seven
yeah,
games in a row, you got to win.
yeah.
And I know we talked about this with Brian on Monday. Not many coaches, when they need a win to qualify, are willing to take on the number 17 team in the state
Hmm.
to go to their place and beat them.
Yeah,
So that
and
in
that was a
itself
2 point game.
is amazing.
Yeah.
Give JT credit
Mhm.
that he was actually wanted to play that game, gave his kids a chance, they made it, and they ran into a good Tom's. We saw Tom's Reese play a
Yeah,
couple
they're
times.
very well.
They don't give up. They played Ewing in the Christmas tournament. Ewing would go out to a big lead, they'd come back. We saw them play Lacey in a tight game. So they're a good team. Again, like you said, Kevin Cohen's a good coach.
Hmm.
He had them prepared, and Lizzie Gillen's been one of the hottest players in the Shore,
Yeah.
and listen, it happens. You win 8 in a row. You're bound to lose one. Unfortunately, happened to be in the first round of the Shore Conference tournament, and you know they they got a lot of hype when Munson transferred to RBR.
Hmm.
So they really had a target on their back. Everybody,
Yeah.
I think they were 5-9 at one point or 4-9, but
Mhm.
you get a big transfer and everybody starts talking them up, and they actually pull through with living up to the hype. They run into a good team, and traditionally Ocean County teams don't get a lot of credit. And let's be honest, Monmouth County, you get more basketball players. Ocean County, you get more multi-sport athletes playing basketball.
Yeah.
So for East to go in and win at Red Bank, which is a tough place to play, give them a lot of credit. That was a great win.
Yeah, and Tom's and Reese, they've been together. Probably like you said, multi-sport. They've probably played soccer, softball. These kids, those girls know each other. They've been playing together for a long time,
Yep.
and they're always very tough defense, and they just run. They run their offense, and congratulations to them getting the big win.
Yeah.
Another big game was Lacey Wall. Wall coming in off that big win against St. Rose. Um, Maybe they overlooked, hey, we just beat St. Rose. We've seen Lacey. I've seen them a couple times. They're another very good, team. They got quite a few. They got basketball players there.
Yeah. And Maddie Bell went in and had a 19 and 19,
Well,
I think, and Riley Giordano at 18, Zimmerman at
yeah,
13
I'm
and
happy for
10.
Riley.
I mean, listen, they were. I didn't see the game, but from what I heard and talking to people, that they just played a heck of a game.
Yep.
And like you said, Wall may have had a little bit of a letdown, just beating St. Rose. They're having a good season. They got a higher rank based on seeding. That was an upset. But when we
But
talked to Brian, I said I thought Lacey was ranked too low. I thought they
yeah,
were better
yes, you
than
did.
22.
So
And I thought Wall kind of got the short end of that stick, and it proved to be true.
yeah,
Wall got the toughest seed, I think, the
yeah.
toughest first round
First
game
round.
based on
Yeah,
a lower seed.
yeah. So a fun game. Wish I was there too, but you can only be in one place at a time. But yeah, congratulations, Lacey. Helping, giving Ocean County some,
Yeah.
recognition. What other first round? Any other games first round? I mean,
I
St.
don't
Rose
think there were
handled
really
Modern
any other
Day.
close games.
I'm Ocean and Middletown South was 9 point, but I didn't see
Yeah,
any of that game, so I can't really.
most of the other games are 20-point games and not
Yeah,
even close.
which
So,
we expected.
yeah,
Um, so do you want to talk Manasquan game first? Manasquan versus
sure.
Marlboro.
Marlboro, yeah. Georgia Heine had a great offensive game, and we've been waiting for that all season. We
Mm-hmm.
knew she's capable. Um, she's got the offensive talent. She's got the skill. She got a great jump shot. Doesn't get many opportunities some games. She
Mm-hmm.
got the opportunity yesterday and made the most of it. 19, 8 rebounds, couple assists. Um, Dorothy Lafredo had a great game inside. A lot of second chance baskets. She got a lot of offensive rebounds. Mary Donnelly only had 3 points, but if you check out the rest of her stats, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks, and did a great, just like you talked about Schlesinger dog and Drehos the other day. Mary just shut Schlesinger down yesterday. Held her to 3 points. When Mary's night was over, Danny hit a couple 3-pointers in the fourth quarter. But the more we watch this team, watching Mary and Georgia play defense is amazing.
Yeah, it's fun to watch.
Mary guarded Hannah Hidalgo.
Mm-hmm.
And Mary's a legit 6-footer. She's a big 6-footer.
Yeah,
She's taking on guards
the point
outside
guard.
and
Yep.
not letting them score.
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't care about her offense. She took only a couple shots, I think. She hit a 3, but her main focus yesterday was shutting down Danny, and she did a great job.
If that team starts clicking like that, with next person up with Brooke and Georgia, and Mary, and with
Collins
Mary,
came off the bench, hit a couple threes
yeah,
yesterday. So, yeah.
her and Ryan Orlando come in off the bench. Hopefully, this the semifinal. They RBC and them get to the semis, and we see a very exciting rematch of the WOBM.
I think you might see a different result, but we'll talk about that
Yeah,
later.
yeah, we'll talk about that later. I went to Toms River North Jackson Memorial game at the arena. It was exactly what you expect, competitive. You got to see them during the regular season, and a lot of people saying, why is the second game after the shore conference, which I agree 100%. That game means nothing then. I mean, it means to the players, but, seating
Well,
wise and
A
stand.
South, wouldn't it? If Jackson wins, don't they share A
The
South?
tie, yeah, the tie.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
there's a
Jackson
little
needs
bit
that
of
win.
meaning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, this game, Zoe came out. I don't have the stats, but she hit a couple 3-pointers right off the bat. Her game is, it's the second time me seeing them live. They played short regional. It was a blowout. This, competitive game. I think she had 19 in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
Um, at one point, I thought she was going to finish with 50 points in the game because she just couldn't miss. She was able to do whatever, and I'm talking some deep threes going inside. Um, Sydney Howell had a very good first half, was matching her for 3-pointers, and I was like, we might have a shootout here. This might be fun. Obviously, it slowed down. Tom's River, Jackson controlled the first half. Tom's River controlled the second half. Everyone on Tom's River contributed some way. Sydney got off to a good start. Julia was pretty consistent throughout the game, hitting some big shots when they needed it. Jackie, all over the place like she usually. Rebound and steals, double-digit points. Her and Faith Faith had, I think she finished with 8 assists. Her and Jackie had a real good rapport going on yesterday. Faith found her quite a few times underneath for easy two. Um, Faith had a big foul layup and a foul to help. I think it was right when they took the lead, and Gia was so disruptive underneath. Like she usually is. Blocking shots, tipping shots, rebounding the ball. It was a total. I have to say, it was a total team effort. Everyone contributed. Like if somebody had an off night, they would have lost. They needed everyone to do exactly what everyone did that game. And I want to call Amber Williams. She had a pretty good second half. Honestly, if it wasn't for her, I think in the third she had 8 or 10 points. And if it wasn't for her, Tom's River North might have blown that game open. In the third quarter. So, Amber Williams, stepped up big in that quarter. Rebounds. She had 3 or 4 blocks as well. So it was good to see her. I only seen them play once, and the previous years, battling injury. It was good to see her out there and making a big impact.
I forgot to mention, she's the reason that Jackson was close in the Rumson game also.
Okay.
A bunch of blocks on the defensive end, some offensive rebounds and putbacks. So, yeah, it's a shame that she had 3 unhealthy, injury-filled years.
Yeah.
Because the way she's playing this year, you don't know what you would have gotten out of the kid for 4 years.
NYU might have stole somebody.
Close to 800, 900 rebounds.
Yeah.
She's a very skilled player.
Mm-hmm.
It's just injuries have taken a toll on her, and she's got a new life though. She got 4 years at NYU.
They might have gotten a steal the way the way she's been playing.
Stay healthy. I agree with you.
Yeah. So, but Tom's River North ended up closing that game out. It was a fun division matchup in the Shore Conference tournament. So.
Don't tell those kids that their game means nothing, because I can't wait to see it, because I think
no, and you can never tell any kid you tell me a kid going out there the game doesn't it means everything to them,
especially the Jackson kids that lost 2 already.
Yeah,
and North, it's such a rivalry. North wants to sweep them.
Yeah,
Jackson needs to win.
North don't want to share. They don't want to share that division title.
No. Nope.
So when is that, Monday?
21st, yeah.
Monday. Yeah, Monday. So, week before states start. Yeah. What other game? So, hang on, let me pull it up here. So, Trinity Hall, St. Rose.
That was a close one.
Close one.
Haven Dora, let's give her some 23 points yesterday. And I've only seen her in person, I think, when Manchester played them last year and this year, but every game we see, this kid gets better.
I told somebody asked me, what does St. Rose need to do to win? And I said, you got to keep Haven at 15 or lower. And she scored 23, and they won by 5. I said, you got to keep that. Her speed, she could get to the hoop, shoot the ball outside. Might actually get me to a lacrosse game, because I'm curious to see how good she is, with the lacrosse.
I'll let you take care of that.
So, big win for Trinity Hall, but St. Rose stayed with them, and St. Rose, a lot of freshmen. Their outlook for next year is going to be very good for St. Rose. So nothing to hang their hats on.
Got a couple kids coming in next year, so
a couple late.
Very young team. St. John Vianney all over Neptune again.
Yeah, that was the next name, because Trinity Hall. Yeah, St. John Vianney, 3rd time.
The Rumson, and we'll talk about the Donovan game in a couple of minutes, but Rumson's already avenged their losses from Randy and Trinity Hall. So, Donovan has a big X on their back when it comes to Rumson.
Yeah. So that the next thing, we'll talk Rumson Rainey. I mean, it's exactly what I expected. I figured 25 to 30, just the way Rumson, and I know the Rumson players were not happy that Rainey was able to celebrate that victory on their own court, and they were not going to allow that to happen again. And the way they've been playing, Corsatina, would she have 31?
Yeah, Corsatina 31, Colucci 18. Just continue right along.
Yeah, they could shoot like that. that St. John Vianney matchup might, if they beat Donovan, it might be fun. I'm not. Please, nobody take that as me saying they're going to give St. John Vianney. Just might be a fun game.
Yeah, agreed. And then
Uh,
Donovan over pretty big over Middletown South yesterday. No
yes,
surprise there. Yeah.
Gabby and Olivia. I think they both had 17, or Gabby might have had 19.
Gabby had 19,
Yeah.
and then Kaya Joseph had 12. So,
Uh-huh.
three of their four
Bounce,
scores.
the bounce
Yeah.
attack that they've been doing for majority of the season.
Yep.
We talked about Swan, Marlboro
Mar-
already.
yep.
Lacey Homedale. I thought it'd be a little bit closer than what it was.
Yeah, I did too, but it's a tough place to play up at Homedale.
Yeah.
And I'm sure a little added motivation. The kids wanting to see their coach play his wife.
Yeah, it could
So
be. Yeah. And the last matchup was that RBC took care of Tom's River
yeah,
East. Low scoring game,
yeah.
46-25. So and
Elliott 17.
Allie
Yeah,
led
big
the
game.
way. I
Yeah,
got my only issue with RBC is there's no stats besides the points.
I know. I don't understand that.
They're the only big school, basketball school wise that doesn't put no
Yeah,
rebounds, no steals. No, I was joking
and
with
it's
somebody.
important. You have kids. I mean, you've got what on that team? 6 or 7 kids that can play Division I basketball.
Yeah,
And coaches, other than talking to the coach, I mean, obviously you're gonna talk to
yeah,
Coach Montano about the kids, but when you're just looking for a quick thing, oh, let me see how Molly Kelly did today, and you see 10 points and nothing else,
yeah.
or yeah, let me see how the other, Emma Carmen or Tessa Carmen did, and you see points and
Yeah.
nothing else. It is a little frustrating when you're trying to cover them. Again, you can't get to every game, and
Mm-hmm.
but you wish you had something else to go on
Yeah, and
besides
I
this.
was joking with John Harmon. I was like, Allie. I go. I wish they would at least rebounds because it says Allie has 11 rebounds, and he's like, she probably had that last game alone. I was like, yeah,
Right.
and not that I'm here. How many steals Molly Kelly and
Yep.
Pryor have, and because they're a very good defensive team. I like look and block. Curious how many blocks Allie has. It's just out of all the top schools, everyone gets all their stat, and RBC is the only one that doesn't.
Yeah.
Just a little complaints. Sorry, guys. All right, let's do some previews for the quarterfinals. Uh, we'll start 1-8. That's the first game of the day.
Next.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna say 30 point.
Yeah. I mean, Trinity just hasn't seen a team like St. John Vianney.
Yeah,
And as fast as Haven and
Nina.
Nina are, and I mean, St. John's going to keep them in front of them. They're not going to let them get to the basket so easily.
Mm-hmm.
Trinity doesn't shoot the ball overly well from the outside.
Wow.
So this has the potential to be a really, really ugly game.
Okay. The next match, Rumpson Donovan, which is the game everybody.
Wait, the only thing that Trinity can hope for is that St. John Vianney is looking forward to Sidwell on Sunday. I mean, if they overlook them, maybe it'll be a 20-point game.
Okay. I think everyone's looking forward to that Sidwell game.
Yeah, no doubt.
The next would be Rumpson and Donovan, which is me and you probably been talking about it for a few weeks now, waiting to see what would happen in the rematch. Rumpson definitely was playing poor basketball the first time they played,
Yep.
and Donovan's pretty much been the same team whole season.
Very consistent.
So if I still think Donovan, if they're playing like a team, if they play their game like a team, but I think it's going to be a very fun game.
Well, beating Rumson by 24 wasn't by accident. So
no, you got to be good to do that.
Donovan is not a 24-point worse team than they were early in the season.
Mm-hmm.
Rumson's definitely better than a 24-point loss early in the season, but that doesn't happen by accident. I think you're right. I still think Donovan will win. It'll be much closer.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a fun game.
Yeah, I agree. Donovan, the key to the game is just don't let Rumson get into the lane and kick the ball out. Mm-hmm. So switch screens,
Yeah.
play discipline, help side defense. Just don't let them get off. Don't let them go off shooting. Control the bench. When the bench
Hmm.
comes in, don't let them get hot. So and Donovan has the players to do it. They don't go very deep, but
No.
their starting five is very athletic. And
Hmm.
yeah, I think Donovan wins the game. It'll be closer, but if Rumson won, would I be surprised?
No.
No,
No.
but I do think Donovan will win the game.
This might be the in the last few years the most exciting quarterfinals matchup.
Yeah,
Competitive wise that we've seen. Um, going into the game. Um, yeah, I think that's the second game too. I think that's the
yes, it is. Yeah,
12:45 start. Uh, the next uh, the next game on the schedule would be RBC Tom's River, right? That's the third game, Tom's
right,
River North.
correct. Yeah,
Very interesting. Gia and Justine. I mean, in my understanding, Justine is going to be cleared to play tomorrow. Two sisters going up against each other. Has that ever happened before? I don't know. Well, no.
uh,
The not on a big stage, but there's two sisters, one on Freehold, one on Howell, earlier this season.
right,
The
right.
Tonino sisters. So it has happened in this season, actually. Um, RB, do they ease Justine in? Do they limit her minutes? Keep her, um, healthy for the next two rounds.
I'm sure that's the plan going in, but best laid plans, you never know. If
Yeah.
Tom's River North plays to their capability,
Mm-hmm.
it could be a closer game. I don't really think it'll be a close game, just my personal opinion. Even if Justine's on a pitch count,
Mm-hmm.
RBC has too much. They they can send 8, 9 kids in, run North up and down the floor. If they put some pressure on North, I know you watched the game yesterday and you said North didn't turn the ball over very much, which is good because
Compared
we've
to.
seen them in games where they've turned it over a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But will they be starstruck on a big stage? It's been a while.
Mm-hmm.
So if they go in confident,
Mm-hmm.
you don't know what's going to happen. But I still think RBC wins. I think it'll be double digits. Justine playing or not, but that Justine and Gia does add a little intrigue to the game. And they're two competitive kids. They're not going to take it easy on each other. I mean, there could be a bloody nose involved or something, but that's just the way they are. They're
Yeah.
they're tough. They don't like to lose. Neither one of them likes to lose. So um, it'll be an interesting game.
Yeah. And Tom's River's gonna need Sydney and Julia. They're gonna need to be on the outside. And Faith is gonna have to be smart with the distributing the ball and making sure the right players getting the ball in the right spot. Maximize. They're gonna have to maximize every possession because you can't be giving them away to RBC.
Right.
The winner of that game will go on to face the winner of Manasquan Homedale. Another interesting matchup. Husband and wife coaching up against each other. Matt Dakota and Lisa. Lisa, who's been Manasquan for quite some time now. Uh, that's that's going to be interesting. What do you think they're talking about tonight at the dinner table?
Are they talking at the dinner table tonight? Could be a lot of silence. Uh, listen, keep it in perspective. I think um, they knew the matchup was probably going to happen.
Yeah.
They both have good teams, but seeing Manasquan play over the last couple of weeks and the way they're locking teams down on defense,
Hmm.
Homedale's in for a tough game tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Homedale definitely needs to come out more aggressive than they did
Yeah.
against Morris Catholic. They can't, be hesitant. Can't be afraid to, you know, not going to win if you don't put the ball up. The only chance
Yes.
to score is to shoot. So hopefully they're a little more aggressive than against the Morris Catholic team. Uh,
They're
you
going
know,
to need to
out,
control the tempo also. Maybe, take the air out of the ball a little bit,
Mhm.
slow Manasquan down, just be precise on offense.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Run your
Tom's River.
offense and
Well,
right, run your offense. And if it takes 2 minutes to shoot the ball, it takes 2 minutes to shoot the ball. But, you know, Manasquan's length's going to give them trouble. They get in the passing lanes very well. All 5 of their starters get in the passing lanes. Collins comes in, and Orlando, they're bulldogs on defense. So I really do think Homedale's in for it tomorrow. I think Manasquan wins the game pretty easily.
Okay. Yeah, like you said, their defense has been, forget about the offense. It's like, what's Homedale going to be able to do on their offensive end,
right?
With Georgia and Mary and Dorothy so tough underneath. And
what do you think the matchup will be tomorrow? You think I guess Mary will play Lacopoulos?
Yes,
and
Georgia on
Abby,
on
Martini or Abby, right?
I think on Abby. That's what I think. And Alexandra, she's been having great season for them. Really breaking out for her junior season and aggressive. They're gonna need that.
But they're putting Gary Payton on her tomorrow. The glove.
The glove.
Mary will be all over.
So, so I got Manasquan too. We're gonna see the Manasquan RBC rematch, which I know everyone's looking forward to. Yeah. And St. John Vianney, and we both picked Donovan, so chalk going in.
Yeah.
So Tuesday's the semifinals.
Is it Tuesday or Wednesday?
I think it's Wednesday.
I think it's Wednesday. I think the boys are Thursday, girls are Wednesday.
Tuesday, 22nd.
It's Tuesday? Okay.
Yeah. So, so St. John Vianney and Donovan, hypothetically, St. John Vianney,
Yeah.
I have to say, I don't, Donovan got to see Long Island Lutheran, which is a very quality team, So,
one of the good qualities about Donovan is that they don't care. They're just going to go in and play.
Yeah.
They know they're pretty good. They're a confident team.
Mm-hmm.
They're just going to go in and give everything they have. It still won't be enough to beat St. John Vianney.
Yeah, they have nothing to lose, I think. Put on a good show.
Yeah, just go in and play and give it your best shot.
Yeah, I wish we would have got to see, Donovan, play, RBC or Manasquan again. They played Manasquan in the WOBM to see, if a little better outcome, the way that, they're playing now more as a team than when they played that first time. So I think that was the issue. They got out, Manasquan got out to the lead and, they were getting frustrated and, they stopped playing like a team. So yeah, I agree. St. John Vianney, Donovan, you got nothing to lose. Just go out there and play, have fun.
Have fun.
Never know.
Yep. Listen, they could be playing the number 1 team in the country by that time. So
very true. Very true. The next semifinal, RBC Squan, rematch. What was it? 15, 16-point game the first time?
Yeah, it wasn't close.
No, it wasn't even as close as the score.
No.
Said.
But, you go through the season, and again, RBC's still playing really well, but Manasquan's really stepped it up. And
especially on the defensive end.
Yeah, oh yeah. And I think, Justine coming back will be trouble for them. But just the way they're playing now, Manasquan's playing, I wouldn't pick against them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they keep flowing, get more flow, offensively. Their defense, it's just so, what they did with, shutting Hannah down, basically, shutting Danny down, who's a pretty, she can score inside and outside.
Right.
I'm just pulling up the score how much did they win by the first time? 55-36 was the first game.
19.
And what are the chances they only score 40 points again? I
don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
And the chances that RBC scores 55 again, where they're playing defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, I'm just going to say I'm going to pick Manasquan just because of the way they're playing. Okay. And that's no disrespect to RBC, but I think that'll be one heck of a game.
Yeah. That's going to be, to me, the finals is that, that game.
Yeah. Yep.
So, and then we'll talk about it next week. I guess is the St. John Vianney, whoever they end up matching up against, because the finals will be the 27th on Sunday.
Sunday, I think it's at 1 o'clock, so decent times on
And big game Sunday. Sidwell, St. John Vianney, you know, they worked hard to get that game rescheduled.
Yep.
Obviously, it's hard enough remaking games in the same state. Never mind against the number one team in the country that's in
Right.
Washington D.C. Good for both programs.
Yeah, give both teams credit for putting that together, even that late in the season.
Mm-hmm.
We know we're in the playoffs. I'm sure their playoffs are starting soon if they haven't started yet. So to put that right in the middle of your conference tournament's pretty good on both teams.
Yes, and it's gonna be fun. I think it'll be streaming. I'm pretty sure it'll be streaming. Well, probably Baller TV or something. I don't know. But I think Brian said he'll be there, right? I think Brian said that.
Yeah, he said he was going down.
So there'll be definitely somebody from media there that you can follow for updates if you can't make the trip or if you can't watch it on Sunday. So that'll be good. Where it's in Dover,
It's in Ursuline Academy in Wilmington.
So I think there's another game that day too, right? Is there?
I think there's 2 games. Yeah, I think there's 2 games that day.
Okay. So, yeah, good luck to St. John Vianney, and hopefully Monday morning, knock on wood, we do number one team in the country.
Be nice.
I just got 2 notes before we dig into Player of the Week. One, I think Brooke Holloway needs only 72 points for 1,000.
Okay.
Good career. Coming back. From the ACL injury. So I just want to point that out. 72 points. She should be able to, I'm going to guess, get that. At least 2 more short games, possibly 3.
If they pick up a game or 2 between, well, let's see how
they're
far
not. If they make the finals,
they're not going to pick up.
So that'll be 3 games, and they're probably going to easily play 3. They'll probably make the group finals.
They'll be the number 1 seed in Central too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good luck to Brooke. And I want to Ellie Clark on Ocean, sophomore, 100 assists this season for a sophomore. I was looking at her stats. She also has 200 points. She leads the team in points with 200 points and 53 steals. So that's a name.
Good season.
Yeah, keep that name. And her sister Kaden is a freshman. She's having a fantastic season for Ocean too. So look out for Ocean. Next season, and the one girl left. Transfer from RBC to go back to her home school. Will be there. Be able to play next season. So it might be a fun team. Fun team to watch next season. And I like the way the Clark sisters play together.
And I have one more note. Congratulations to Coach Truhan on his 400th career victory yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm sure he really didn't want it publicized, but
no, he did not.
People know, and they get a hold of it. And Nick's throwing out all his stats from all the schools. And listen, that's a great career. 4 or 5 short teams.
Yeah.
Hey, go outside. But yeah, 400 wins. We congratulate Coach Callahan on his 100th win last week. But 400 wins. That's a long career.
He did. So he called me. It was after they lost to East, and he said my daughter pointed out that my next win's 400. He goes, but I don't want to see that anywhere. I don't. I said okay, and then I saw they won yesterday. I didn't even know they were playing yesterday, and Mike Stoy, the athletic director, posted they won, and I retweeted, is that 400 or something? And not everybody knew what I was talking about. But then I texted him, and he was angry. I said, but you retweeted it. So I go. Now I'm going to put out the official congratulations. So that was that.
Yeah, no,
but yeah, he didn't want it. To him, it's about his team winning. Not he don't care how many wins he has.
And not only accumulating the wins, but you put all the championships and group championships and state championships, tournament champion finals. I mean, all of that. Add all that. That's a great career.
Yep. And how many kids went on to the next level, and So I'll be proud of he's been around. And I think they were doing something today before their game against Central Regional. To acknowledge that. So, but he says he doesn't want the attention.
I'm
Who
sure
knows?
he'll rush through it and be, like, okay,
Well,
this is fine, great.
let's get the tip off
Yeah,
going.
let's get the tip off. Yeah, yeah,
So, yeah, congrats to JT. Congrats. Great season. All the players, all the accomplishments that the players have. Quite a few 1,000-point scorers we saw. I
yeah,
was hoping to see Danny, but she'll get that next game.
yeah. One
And
point I think she needs, right? So
to me, kids that are graduating now getting 1,000. I mean, I think Marlboro only played 6 or 7 games last year.
right,
Because they got hit with COVID early, and then when they played Middletown South, somebody from Middletown I think had COVID and they got shut down, or somebody in Marlboro. But either way, their season just got ended right before the pod started.
right.
So only
A thousand. Listen, 1,000 points is a great accomplishment. I don't
mm-hmm.
care. You know, people can poo-poo it. It's not that big of a deal. I still think it's a great accomplishment.
Yeah.
Your name's going to hang in a banner for
Yeah.
forever in the school, and especially anybody that's done it in the last 3 or 4 years with the COVID shutdown.
Yeah.
That's an even greater accomplishment.
Yeah.
So nobody should be pushing that aside or poo-pooing 1,000 points. That's a great accomplishment.
Yeah.
I was lucky enough to see Destiny score 2,000 points, and I mean that's incredible.
Yeah.
But 1,000 points is nothing to cough at. That's a great
hard work.
accomplishment.
So, a lot of hard work, especially in the short conference.
Absolutely.
You're going up against killer teams. Every day. So congratulations, Danny, when she gets her 1 or 2 more points. So, let's move to player of the week. Oh, players of the week, division players of the week.
Yeah.
All right. So A North we were different, A Central we were different, and B Central. So I'll let you start off with A North.
I went with Amanda Castro from Marlboro.
Mm-hmm.
16 against Long Branch, 14 against Shore. She only had 3 against Swan last night, but that was a tough
game for everybody.
Very low scoring for them yesterday. Yeah.
I went with Kerry Di Stefano from Howell. She had a very good week. Thompson Reese, Saturday they played 11 points, which was a pretty good tune-up game, before Shore. She had 22 against Jackson Memorial, which is not an easy feat, scoring 22 points against Jackson Memorial. Very tough defense. And then, they played Ocean yesterday. She had 9 points yesterday, but, good job by, Kerry, one of the leaders of that Howell team.
A Central, I went with Allison Cannon from Homedale. 12 points against Frail Township, 18 against Lacey.
And at Lacey, tough, big game against that Lacey. Yeah. So her to, step up there. I think she's a freshman or sophomore, Allison.
I think a sophomore. Not 100%, but I think she's a sophomore.
I went with Haven Dorr. She put up 23 points yesterday in a big spot against St. Rose. I said for St. Rose to win, they were going to have to keep Haven to around 15, and that's what happened. Haven's speed, and she had a really good game. So 23 points. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure she had quite a bit of steals too, but those stats weren't loaded yet. So.
Great defensive player too.
Mm-hmm.
I said A South. I guess we both went with Lizzie Gillen from Thompson Reese.
Yep.
12 and 15 against Howell, 23 and 14 against Red Bank, and 14 last night against RVC. So not doing that against Cupcakes either, just putting up numbers.
No, and she does it on both ends of the floor.
Mm-hmm.
She's one of my favorite athletes in the Shore, multi-sport. B North, we both went with Maya Evans.
Yep.
You have her stat.
21 against Colts Neck and 13 against St. John Vianney.
Nothing.
Good week.
No, and Colts Neck's a very tough defensive team too.
Definitely.
They got out to that. They were up big in the first half.
13-0, I think, at the end of the first quarter.
It was 17-2 when I checked in to update, and only a 44-40.
Yeah.
Give Coach Russo and Colts Neck credit; they did not, pack it in when they were down. So
right.
But good week.
Yeah. B Central, I went with Erin Fawnheim from Point Beach. 9 against Keyport, 12 against Trinity, and she's had a good year. And she has her sister on the team also. They've been playing pretty well.
She's
And
the freshman, right? Her sister's a
yeah, I think
senior.
so. And I never got to see them in person, but you know, good week for her in Beast Central.
Yeah, from my understanding, they been battling the COVID.
Yeah.
Really haven't had a full roster from talking to other coaches. So, but good see and something to build on. As a freshman, over there. I went with Raquel Guida. I'm
With Daddy.
sorry, Guidetti. Italian last name. You think I suck at pronunciation? She had a pretty big week. She had 17 against Point Borough in the opening round. 12 against Rumson yesterday, but she's had such a consistent season
Yeah.
for Rainey. Only a sophomore. Exciting things in the next couple of years with her.
Yeah, we've picked her a couple times. So
Yes.
yeah, definitely. B South, we both went with Olivia Conroy from Donovan Catholic. 11-5 against Lakewood, 17-8 against Absegami, and then 17-7 last night against Middletown South.
You always
And
get
probably a bunch of steals thrown in there too. I just
you,
didn't get those.
you always know what you're getting with Olivia. Your 15 points, close to 10 rebounds, couple
Yep.
Interceptions.
Yep.
So
Couple return for
yeah,
pick
couple
sixes. Yeah.
pick sixes. So.
Yeah. And then C North, we both went with Georgia Heine.
Mm-hmm.
11 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists against Middletown South, and then 19-8 against Marlboro last night. So her defensive game's been there all year, but her offensive game's starting to come on. So
and what a time of the season to be
have that
pouring
happen,
on.
no doubt.
So congratulations to all our division or week winners. Possibly the last week we do the divisions. We'll see what happens this week. But want to also, congratulate Lizzie Gillen for being the Broad Street Dough Company Player of the Week. She's had she had a few weeks. I think this is the third time I picked her, and second time you picked her.
Second in a row, yeah.
She's part. Thompson Reese started off a little slow, but she had a couple big games and part of the reason Thompson Reese was able to turn the season around and help lead the team with 23 points against the upset victory against the RBR. So Lizzie, congratulations on being our Broad Street Dough Company Player of the Week.
Talk about a kid that always plays with a smile on her face. That's one of them.
And I'm not sure. I think she might be in Pennsylvania playing soccer right now. I'm not even. Don't quote me on that, but she might be. I have no idea.
Heading to
James Madison.
Play soccer.
Play soccer. Great athlete. All right, let's wrap up with our top 10. Why is my phone going off? Games must be ending. Oh, hang on.
Is Dave sending you pictures of his food?
No. Please.
I like to bust Dave's chops. He eats worse than anybody I've ever seen in my life.
Tell me about it. I don't.
And I know he's going to watch it, and I'll hear a comment about it. But when he posts that food, I get hungry. But then I'm thinking, I don't know. I couldn't do it.
All right. Here's our top 10. 1 through 7, pretty easy. 1 through 8, but with the last couple, continue rotation. So you could go. You want to go through?
I kind of cheated. I just went. I took the 8 teams that made the Elite 8.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, St. John Vianney, RBC, Squan, Donovan, Rumson, Homedale, Toms River North, Trinity. I put Neptune in there. Nice win over Colts Neck. Probably kept them in there. And they played St. John Vianney 3 times. I think this was the closest game. So keep them in there at 9. And then Wall at 10. I know they got upset by Lacey, but they did beat St. Rose last Saturday. So have Wall at number 10.
Obviously, first 7 are the same. I have Marlboro at 8 over Trinity. They beat Trinity, and to me, Marlboro is looking good. Looking very good right now. They ran into Manasquan, which unless you are 4 or higher, you're not beating Manasquan. Trinity, I put at 9. My first time having them in the top 10 this season. Beating St. Rose, moving on to the quarterfinals to play St. John Vianney. Hopefully, they can make a little run. And I'm guessing they're in B South. I mean, non-public B. I'm not.
Trinity, yes, non-public B.
Okay. So hopefully they can make a little run there. And I put Lacey in the top 10. Beating Wall. They've had a pretty consistent season. Throughout, but like for the last 6 weeks, those bottom teams keep rotating in and out. So
It's through 7, 8 through 10's been pretty constant change.
So we're starting to wind down the season. We got this last week. We got quarter Saturday, semis on Tuesday, and then the short conference finals next Sunday. And then we right into a couple weeks of state playoff fun.
Yeah, this season went by fast. We're on week 9 already. It's crazy.
I know. I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
And again, I know we mention it every week. Support Broad Street Dough Company. Get out there, buy some donuts.
I know the Monmouth Regional Group was out there for. They bought some donuts for their senior night.
I saw Sarah Hughes cashed in and shared with her team. That was very nice.
That was nice. I don't think I would share. I don't think I would share, but
you're like that, Nick. You're eating popcorn over there. You're not sharing that. So
I'm making a mess. That's what I'm doing. Yeah. Sorry, guys. I'm very hungry today. So yes, please support. Des has been great with us, and great with the kids. And hopefully we can continue this for soccer season.
Yeah.
And build on this for next year. But yes, thank you, Des, and thank you for all the support too from the coaches and the fans and players. People coming up to me, people I don't even know, thanking me and saying they love the podcast and stuff. So we appreciate it. It makes us feel like we're actually doing this for a reason.
Yeah, I agree. We get very positive feedback on Twitter and every gym we go to, people thanking us for doing what we do for girls basketball. It's just something we love to do. And, we like to bring attention to it. They don't get much attention in the press. I know Brian does a great job covering the state, but he's only one guy. So, anything we could do to help. And it's been very positive and I enjoy doing it. So, looking forward to the next couple of weeks.
Yes, it's gonna be fun. So, and don't be afraid to say hello if you see us, and
give us a piece of your mind if you don't agree. It's fine.
Yeah, we got thick skin. We'll go in one ear out the other. So, but yeah, thank you, and we look forward to a strong short conference showing in the state tournament. I want how many sectionals are they in? 8. 2 South Jersey, 4 Central,
teams,
4, and then 2 non-publics.
Yeah.
So can we go 8 for 8? Soccer, they were very successful. The short teams in the sectionals.
You got the talent to do it. We've got the teams. We got the strength, and see what happens.
So everyone, good luck tomorrow in the quarters. We'll
see you there tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll be there all day. Look forward. Hopefully, we see some pretty good basketball.
Yeah. Good luck.
All right. Thank you, guys.